Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone across the globe. This is Priestess Vairavi Balasubramaniam, PhD. Today, I'd just like to remind you that the Grand Sextile is going to open in about 12 hours' time. That portal of energetic manifestation will remain open for 19 hours and 27 minutes. Dates and times listed for global locations will be posted below this video. As a reminder for those of you who are new to astrology or who simply just want a refresher, a grand sextile effectively looks like a hexagram or Star of David configuration. It is the intersection of two triangles, one pointed upwards and one pointed downwards. The triangle is surrounded by 6 connected sextiles in the astrological chart, which makes the shape of two triangles in a hexagon. The energy of the grand sextile is one which allows infinite ample possibilities of manifestation to take place, to be grounded, to be channeled, to be anchored into the material world. It is one of those bridges between spirit and form, between our ideal vision of reality and the reality which we currently inhabit and consider the real. It is one of those energies which allows us to make the bridge between the two. This grand sextile comes at a time where we are already facing the intense energies of the final grand cross of 2014, involving Pallas Athena in Libra, Uranus retrograde in Aries, Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and Juno in Cancer. Juno plays a pivotal role in both alignments of the sextile and the grand cross. In my understanding, Juno is not only the energy of the soulmate or marriage partner, but she represents that other half of our dominant conception of divinity. And so many of us are challenging that now. In fact, so many of us still have entrenched beliefs that the divine is somehow a masculine form or masculine energy. Well, that's half of the story. It ain't wrong. It ain't right. As far as I'm concerned, it's not a complete picture. Juno basically calls us, talks to us, speaks, and finds ways for us to express the other half of the divine feminine. Be it in the envisioning of God or goddess in a feminine form, be it the understanding of a more receptive, nurturing, intuitive understanding of the spiritual paradigm, be it an emphasis on knowledge arising from within associated with the sacral chakra as opposed to the Ajna or sixth chakra. There are different ways of defining the emergence of the feminine at this time. It is not simply to say that men are better than women or women are better than men. It is simply finding those archetypes within us all and expressing them in harmony. The grand sextile even graphically depicts this union of opposites expressing and complementing one another in unified form. Now, when this grand sextile is on, so to speak, and every sextile is different because the energetic players involved are different, a lot of us are going to be feeling the powerful influence of Saturn conjunct Vesta. Saturn, as many of us know, is the karmic taskmaster. He is the one, I say he, but it could be a she or it, but I just say he out of convention. He is the one that is involved in the examination of the tasks which we have yet to do in our spiritual evolution, the lessons which we have yet to learn, and the understanding that somehow the universe is run through some principle of balance. Saturn asks us to revisit that which we have not learned and often gives us these trials and tests in the forms of limitation or some kind of enforced discipline or structuring in our lives. Many of us perceive Saturn to be painful, even a malefic planet. I don't quite see it in that way as far as I understand. This is how I explain Saturn to my clients. If you've got water from a stream and you want to irrigate a field, you're going to have to build a pipe, or you're going to have to find some way to channel that water so that you can actually use it. Otherwise, all your seeds and crops are just going to get washed away. And in that same way, Saturn actually helps us to channel, to focus, to direct energy to where it is required. So think of it as a friend and it will teach you as such. Saturn is conjunct Vestas in this powerful energetic alignment. Basically, a conjunction occurs when two bodies seem to occupy the same space in the heavens. It's not as though they actually collide with each other. It's just the way it is depicted upon the astral chart from the earthbound perspective. Vesta is the energy of the priestess, also priest serving the divine feminine. Effectively, it is the energy of the spiritual facilitator who has learned the secrets of Kundalini, of tending to the sacred temple of the body and the sacred fire within. When Saturn and Vesta come together, we find situations in which spiritual facilitators remember either from this or previous lifetimes instances where they have been put through tests of sheer fire, tests which may have involved real personal sacrifice in some way. It is a narrative that many who have served the divine in any faith can relate to. For many faiths have been born of intense suffering, of intense persecution, and intense histories of simply being unaccepted till finally, eventually they were. Some are still struggling for that recognition even today. So this is really the energy which focuses upon the duties, the karmic pasts of the priests and priestesses who anchor and hold the vibration of their particular faith. It is something that is open to all those who believe spirit in whatever form they choose to engage with spirit. This energy is going to be highlighted and focused at this time very, very, very strongly. Another conjunction which I think is of merit to note, whilst not exactly a part of the Grand Sextile, is still integrated or woven into it, is the energy of Mercury conjunct Pallas. Mercury conjuncted Pallas yesterday on September 11, 2014. Effectively, this brings the energy of the warrior goddess, or rather the goddess of war and wisdom and healing, Pallas Athena, along with the thinker and the intellect of Mercury. Now, basically what happens when this conjunction occurs is that we are encouraged to use the strategic, decisive, assertive elements of our mental makeup. We are challenged to look at the patterns in our environment and to find situations that can be resolved through the exercise of logic, through the exercise of balance and detached thinking, especially as both of these energies merge in the sign of Libra. It is a time where judgments are being made, and the best judgments are being made from the detached mind. This energy, whilst not part of the sextile directly, is woven into the sextile by means of a powerful yod that will be occurring. The sextile has been the Grand Sextile has been in an incomplete phase owing to the missing leg, so to speak. This is formed by the moon through its transit in Taurus, so some of us may already be feeling the build up to the sextile even now. So as the moon hovers over, in particular 18 degrees Taurus, the sextile is completed. The moon then activates a yod at the same time, pointing downwards towards Mercury and Pallas. Mercury and Pallas are, and therefore the moon, which is sextile in Chiron, are therefore part of this powerful yod or finger of fate or finger of God, goddess, call it what you want. This dagger is effectively pointing to Libra, where you will be challenged to make decisions that count, decisions that last. You will be challenged to make a diplomatic stand, particularly in an issue which involves possibly finances, as the moon in Taurus can also relate to abundance or even issues of self-worth. And the other side of the yod is Chiron in Pisces. The issues can also relate to your particular spiritual journey or whatever sense of wounding that you may have had on this journey. These two come together and form this powerful, powerful, pointed energy that focuses upon this decision-making arena or aspect of your life. So Taurus, Pisces, and Libra are particularly lit up through this yod tomorrow. Also, we have a second yod in the skies that is similarly woven into the Grand Sextile that is formed between Chiron in Pisces again, Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn, and both of them are pointing straight towards Jupiter. Jupiter is in Leo, and that relates to our sense of expansion, our sense of joy, our sense of exuberance, that kind of thing which just makes us feel that we can go forward. It's in this beautiful sign of Leo, which is associated with childhood, creativity, romance, self-expressiveness, so on and so forth. So you're going to be having some energy coming into that direction as well, but that's not all. There is also a third yod linking back Jupiter, Chiron, and once again Mercury and Pallas Athena. So you've got three yods. I'm not going to go into the details because that would be kind of overwhelming. I've already covered quite a bit of detail right now. But basically, you're going to have three decision points which arise as a consequence of this powerful, powerful configuration in the sky. Do not be afraid if you are called at this time to make decisive gestures or even key decisions in your life, because you've been preparing for this. You've already let go what you've needed to let go of in the Pisces full moon of September 9, 2014, and now you are ready to go forward and make those decisions happen in manifested reality. So all in all, that's what I wanted to cover about the Grand Sextile today. I hope this information is of use, and blessed be, and I'll see you on my event page for the Grand Sextile meditation. Thank you very much, and Vanakkam.